Yeah, I just wanted to share a quick thought with you, kind of an excerpt from something I shared the other last Wednesday, I think it was. But it was about when we minister to people. Sometimes we get confused, but ministry is really just tending to the needs of others. So whatever the Lord calls us to do, we each have a different way to go about that, different jobs, so to speak. But ultimately, ministering is tending to the needs of others, and it's putting others above ourselves. And there's a lot of scriptures that support that. But what I wanted to share is that I think a lot of times they grow weary in ministry. And I think why we start to grow weary in ministry is we forget that ministry. It's been said that if you take the people out of ministry, it's easy. It only gets messy when you put people in it. Same is true really with the Bible. Like, if you take the people out of the Bible, the story don't mean the same thing. It's a book about some birds in the air, some fish of the sea, some cosmic things that took place, and but there's nothing relational. Without people, the Bible is not the same, because it's intended to be about people. It's relational, and it's about it's that love story between the Lord and His sons and daughters, those whom He has called, and who choose Him and enter into that relational promise of an eternity spent together. But what happens is in ministry we tend to forget that it's the Lord's work, and so we grow weary when we start striving and trying to do things in our own strength. That's when we start to let things offend us. We start to let other people offend us rather than excite us about an opportunity to try to help someone or to see the Lord work in their life. And so the Lord calls us to go from striving to abiding in Him. The Lord wants us to trust in Him and to abide in Him. And I think we do that by praising Him, by staying focused on Him. And when we abide in the Lord and we become people who minister rather than do ministry, we don't grow weary in ministry because we catch the Father's heart for that for other people. We start to see what He's doing in their lives, and we start to see a transformation, not just in them, but in ourselves, and how we look at people and how we look at those opportunities to pour into people. And the striving in our own strength fades away, and the abiding in the Lord comes into play, and the work that we're able to do is just magnified exponentially, and not just in quantity but in quality. The efficiency of the work that we do when it's done in partnership with the Lord rather than in spite of what the Lord may be doing, it makes all the difference in the world. So my encouragement is, as you think about ministry and become ministry, don't go out and do ministry. Don't separate your ministry time from your lifetime. Like, let that ministry grow in you so that it becomes who you are and what you do, not something just that you do, but it truly becomes rooted into your God-given identity and character, because we are called to love our neighbor as ourselves, and the only way we do that is by serving others rather than being self-serving. So my hope and prayer is that as the Lord speaks to us, that we move from a place of striving to be in alignment with His work and His will, to a place of abiding in His presence, and out of the overflow, that abundance of that rest, that we're able to minister to people in a much more profound way.